So guys, wonderful good morning from freezing cold London Heathrow Terminal 2. Today I'll be flying Eurowings from London to Cologne, and then I continue on Germanwings. It's pretty much both the same airline and part of the Lufthansa group to Leipzig, which is located in the east of Germany. Right now I'm going to show you how the whole check-in procedure works, and then we're going to board the fly Airbus A320s and tell you all about it once I am on board. But for now, let's go inside because it's very cold.
So welcome to Terminal 2, the home of the Star Alliance carriers as well as Eurowings. I actually reviewed this terminal once before, so feel free to check out this video as well.
So here at Terminal 2 in Heathrow, the Queen's Terminal, it's pretty much designed for self-check-in. So you will find all those machines here where you pretty much print your passport or your boarding code or your booking reference number, and then it prints out your boarding pass. You get your tag, and then you go to one of those stations over there where you also pretty much manually drop your bag. So,
however, if you enjoy human interaction, you also can use the check-in counter, where you also find the priority check-in, for which you have to pay an extra fee though upon booking. Hey guys, sorry for the interruption, but today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN, the best and cheapest VPN service on the market. If you don't know what a VPN is, it protects your privacy online whenever you browse the internet, but it also helps you to watch the things you want. Here's an example. I like sports and I want to watch the highlights of my favorite team, but as you can see, the video is unavailable in the country where I'm at right now. So now I'm gonna change my IP to a US and American IP, and look there, all of a sudden I can watch the highlights of my favorite football team. This is just one of many reasons why you should get a VPN. So, and for all my viewers, Surfshark VPN offers a very good deal. You get 85% off and 3 months for free. This is amazing. And if you compare it to the other VPN services, it is the cheapest and most reliable on the market. So use the link in the description below and get your VPN now. And now let's go back to the video.
And now, I'm traveling in economy class, but thanks to the priority pass, I can go to selected lounges at airports all around the world. So I'm gonna go to Premium Plaza Lounge.
With the priority pass, I have free access to over 1,000 lounges all around the world, but I'm not gonna lie to you, some of them are pretty shit. But the Premium Plaza Lounge at Terminal 2 is actually pretty nice. It's clean and has a bar with a free flow of alcohol, a very nice buffet, and very important, pretty good coffee.
So it's 9:15. We're supposed to be airborne in half an hour. And it says the gate would be announced at 9:05, but there's still a message saying please wait, which probably either indicates that the flight is going to be late or there's some other issue. However, I'm not too worried because I have like 3 hours in Cologne to transfer, but yeah. So we were just given the gate A17, which is on the complete other side of the airport. So gotta rush there now, and let's see what the reason is. I guess that the incoming plane is a bit late. So here we are on board the 320, which came in a little late, but as soon as they got here, they disembarked, and pretty impressive turnaround time, it seems. Yeah, it comes in a three configuration, as you know it. It has business class, which is pretty much just more leg room, and you get food and such. But it's a classic low cost carrier, so which means even for the checked luggage, I had to pay. You can pay for perks such as priority boarding, and now here I am. Flight was $160 Australian dollars, but I'm flying via Cologne. This is the recline situation here. And the seat in front of me is still reclined. This is the leg room situation here. Very standard for low cost airline. But then you also have a foldable table here. And Eurowings started off as German Wings a couple of years ago, and then they kind of rebranded it. And they have such a diverse fleet. They have A320s, they have A319s, they have 737s. So you pretty much never know what you end up on. But they also have wide bodies. They tried to do wide body. They got so they're part of the Lufthansa group. And then a few 340s, 330s, they were given to Eurowings, and then they started doing all those long haul flights. It totally failed because there was no real market for it, and now they said they stopped all the long haul destinations. They were flying to like Bangkok and New York and such, but it didn't last long until they announced that they're going to stop those flights. But Eurowings as such is the most successful German budget airline. Like, we've been boarding and stuff, but there's not many passengers on this flight. It's snowing actually. As you can see, there's a Lufthansa 320 Neo, which is just getting de-iced. You see that greenish liquid? He's spraying all over the wing. There's the beautiful Concorde, which unfortunately is not flying anymore. Makes me sad, kind of, because these days flying is just pretty much Airbus or Boeing. I hope supersonic traveling will have a comeback sometime this century. Never know. Would you fly in a supersonic plane? Or if the Concorde would come back in service, would you fly it? Let me know in the comment section below. So because of the light load, we literally just needed a few hundred meters to take off. It was a very short use of the runway, and and I don't know, I felt it was very steep as well, so steeper than usual. You could tell there was a lot of thrust behind those engines, fired us right into the sky.
If you ever ask yourself how I come up with my ridiculous thumbnails, please enjoy this 30-second shit show of me posing in front of the camera like an absolute retard. But I thought it would be fun to share this awkward moment with you guys, since there wasn't much to review on this particular flight anyways. Oh yes, baby. Give me your best pose, Josh. Alright guys, this is getting a bit weird, so let's go back to the review.
They kicked off the service. You have to purchase food if you want to. I look at the prices. It's alright, you know. They offer like combo deals where you can have like a sandwich, a snack, and a drink for like €8, which is kind of okay, I guess. But yeah, if you have a business class passenger here on Eurowings, you can literally have everything free of charge, and that's what they at least said in the announcement. So I don't know if you order like 5 sandwiches, whether they give it to you or not. Crew is like very German, like no emotions. The flight is like empty, which is like nice. Look at this. There's literally like no passengers. It's nice. Also, there's a USB slot underneath the seat, which I figured out. So yeah, once we're in Cologne at the airport, I have a very interesting story to share with you guys. So don't skip that part or don't leave the video. You should always watch this at the end. So starting our descent into Cologne, just flew into a very bumpy bunch of clouds. Apparently the weather is really bad down there. And yeah, and then I give you a little tour of the airport in Cologne, and then we continue to Leipzig on Germanwings. So welcome to Cologne. So yeah, the weather isn't too bad. It looked a bit foggy and windy and rainy, but you know those German pilots, they can land anywhere, anytime. So here I am in Cologne Bonn International Airport, and I told you I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was 19, that's where I took my very first flight. It was not my very first flight. My very first flight I took when I was like 4 years old, from Düsseldorf, which is just nearby, on a TriStar, on LTU, the German leisure airline, which then merged with Air Berlin, I think, and not around both the plane and the airline anymore. But yeah, when my first flight, which I actually remember properly, is I flew from here to Moscow, because I was always obsessed with like standing at the Red Square and with the city as such. So I took my very first trip for my own money when I was like 19 years old from here on Germanwings. Back then, 3-hour flight to Moscow Vnukovo, which is the smaller airport of the Moscow airport. And I remember back then there were like a lot of old Russian birds still taking off. Yeah, but this is why I have like a special relation with Germanwings, which are now Eurowings, and Cologne Airport as such. And thinking about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, this airport seemed like a giant to me. Now, after like traveling the world, I think like this is the smallest airport I've ever seen. Yeah, this is how times change. This is how life evolves, right? This is so interesting that we grow and we see things differently, and then we return to places we've been to where life was so much easier. When I was like 20 years old, life was just a bliss. No worries, no stress, nothing. And now it's all just hectic, isn't it? Anyways, to sum up, Germanwings or Eurowings, it was mad. I was like, all right, you know, budget airline, very eventless. There was not much happening. Now I'm gonna take the second flight, but I still have like 3 hours to kill. So let's see what I'm gonna do with you guys. Where I'm gonna take you, but I crave some German food. So let's do it.
Oh, and guys, a small little reminder, please subscribe if you haven't yet. It's totally for free, and hit that notification bell. Thank you.
So I'm at the deserted baggage claim area. So I'm gonna go to the main building, which means I have to recheck in. If you ever decide to come to Germany, make sure you visit Cologne. It has the biggest cathedral in the world, and also the biggest carnival, which is happening at the moment, I think. And it's a really beautiful place to visit if you come to Germany. So I don't know how many of you know, but the former capital of Germany was Bonn. So Bonn and Cologne, they share an airport. And so you can see, like back in the days, all the head of states, they would arrive here at this very airport. For example, here you have Ronald Reagan arriving on the Air Force One, which used to be a 707. The Pope arrived on Lufthansa. The Pope used to be German. So that is what the airport looks like from the outside. Pretty old. I think the airport has been around for quite some time as well, and this is so freezing. And if you would start here, you would go right to the Eurowings counter and check in. But let's go back inside because it's raining.
And then I was confronted with a classical moment of boarding, but not boarding. All right.
So here we are on the second flight for the day. It's once again an Airbus A320, and I don't know who's boarded, but we didn't board. So we were standing in the jet bridge for like 10 minutes. It was like bloody cold. Why do you board knowing that the airplane is not ready yet? They were still cleaning up and everything. So those are the mysterious things of the aviation industry that I will probably never understand. So boarding is completed, and guess what? Got a whole row to myself once more. My travel hack. Quite some heavy turbulences here, and ever since takeoff, we took off like 15 minutes ago, and we're still inside the clouds. So given the short distance between Cologne and Leipzig, I don't know whether we're gonna reach like high cruising altitude, but yeah, it is extremely bumpy, and if you don't like turbulences, this wouldn't be a flight for you. And I think sometimes I think they're more severe or more intense in the back of the aircraft than in the front. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land at Leipzig Airport, a small provincial airport which is particularly known to be one of Europe's busiest cargo hubs. It's the main hub for DHL Aviation and Aerologic. But what I love most about the airport is the diversity of planes that land here, especially from countries of the former Soviet Union. When I landed, I was lucky enough to witness the Antonov 22 take off. The AN-22 was built in the 1960s and is to date the world's largest turboprop-powered aircraft. It is technically also the largest cock in the world. Yes, you've heard right, because its NATO reporting name of this airplane is, yes, you guessed it right, cock.
Yeah, I guess it was